This episode of Scam School brought to you by Netflix. Welcome to the Graduate School of the Gutter, Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. And part of pulling off a great con is getting a moment where the mark is convinced that they're the ones who have a leg up on you. And I don't know of a single gag that does it as well as the penny prediction. What's going on, dude? I'm Brian.
Mark,
Casey and Eddie. It's a pleasure to meet you guys. All right. I'm going to do a little prediction here. We're going to do a little mind-reading prediction, future telling, that kind of thing. I am going to make a prediction. I don't have, you guys have the pen and the paper. I'm going to make my prediction using pennies. So I'm going to pull out, hold on. Don't look. Don't look at my prediction. This is secret prediction. Hold on. All right. There we go. I made my prediction. I will not be changing my prediction. All right. Here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to take that pen and that note card. I want you guys to think, you guys can whisper together. All right. I want you to think of a 2-digit number between 1 and 100. Don't tell me. Don't let me see. And the prediction will wait. This is another power of editing moment. Not 99, it's too obvious. What about 72? No, that's too obvious. 24? No, that one's too obvious. No, I'm sure he's thinking of 36. No, don't. Keep in mind, this is only a starting point, so it doesn't really matter what you come up with.
Write it down on the paper, dude.
Yeah, write it down on the top. Don't let me see it. Don't let me see it. Because we're going to do a little bit of math. You guys can handle a little bit of math, right? Okay, good. I want you to take the 2 digits of that number, add those 2 digits together, and I want you to subtract that amount from your number. We're working it out. Some heavy-duty calculations going on here. All right, so you should have a new number now, right? Yeah. Okay. Take the 2 digits of that number and add them together. Okay. All right? Whatever number that comes up with, divide it in half. And write down whatever you're at now. I'm a little bit fearful. All right, would you be amazed if that was the exact number of pennies I had in my hand?
I would be shocked. Yeah.
I'm really impressed.
You would buy me a beer?
I would probably get her to buy you a beer.
Yeah, Pinky swear you'll buy me a beer if I got it? Yeah?
Pinky swear that he'll get her to buy you.
All right, well, how much was it?
4.5.
Yeah, because that's what I guessed.
Thanks, babe.
And he's the one that said he's gonna get you, dude.
It'll be a Guinness. There you go. You like that one?
That was great.
There you go. Let me walk you guys through the math here. By the way, thank you very much. You guys are very good sports.
The 4-year-old here.
All right, here we go. So here's the way it works.
Right. Okay.
This is a mathematical principle, or like the rule of 9 or some crap like that. And it turns out whatever number you come up with, right? Pick a number, any 2-digit number.
82.
82, right? 82. If you take those 2 digits and add them together, you get 10. And if you subtract them, it always comes out to be a multiple of 9. And when you add those together, 7 plus 2, you get 9. Divided by 2, you get 4.5. Right? Same thing. We'll do it again. We'll pick another number.
Again.
Yeah, well, we'll do it for the camera, though.
67.
67, right? 67. You're going to take the 2 digits and add them together. You get 13. 67 minus 13 is 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. Divided by 2 is 4.5. So if you follow those steps, it doesn't matter what number you come up with, it'll always come out to 4.5.
Well, I want to know how you cut that penny out.
All you have to do is get some garden shears or some tin snips. In fact, I think I actually used some regular kitchen shears just to cut this in half. That's the only preparation. And what's beautiful is the whole setup. The fact that I'm telling you, I reach into my pocket and I'm fumbling around with coins, and I'm all like, I'm going to make a prediction using pennies. I'm saying all these things so that it creates an image in your mind where it never occurs to you that it's possible to have 4.5. Exactly.
I was fucking excited to have like the 4.5.
Exactly. Well, that's what. That's right.
No way, like.
And think about it. It's like, what's it take to keep a half penny in your pocket at all times? It takes up no space, and it's great because it gives you guys the opportunity to feel superior. It's great when you got somebody who's giving you a hard time.
I was probably giving it.
So that's a great way to get free drinks for the bar.
Exactly, right? That's sort of the idea, though. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, man. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it. Now remember, the key to making the penny prediction work is by creating that moment where the mark is convinced that they've got a leg up on you. The moment you say, if I have exactly that many pennies in my hands, and you see a sly smile appear on their face, you know you are home free and you won yourself a free beer. Now before we go too far, I do want to thank the person who taught me this gag, Mr. Jim Tyler, who you can actually check out online. He's got a lot of great stuff, including a fantastic book of bar scams that he wrote. Now let's talk about your homework assignment. I want you to open your hymnals to the book of Netflix. Turn to the chapter of The Spanish Prisoner. I love this movie. It was written by David Mamet. It's got Steve Martin in it. It's got Ricky Jay. And if you're not familiar with Ricky Jay's other stuff, he's a very talented magician and really interesting guy. You're going to get some insight into the deep thinking that goes into a long con with this movie. And you're going to get some insight as to how the actual Spanish Prisoner con works. Now, if you don't have Netflix, here's what you're going to do. The Netflix plans start from $4.99. As a new member, you get a no-risk 2-week free trial membership. Check it out at www.netflix.com/scamschool. It is important to put the wwws in there because if you don't put the wwws, they don't give us credit, they don't give us money, and we don't get to give you scam schools anymore. Now let's do a little bit of Q&A. This time we have a special video question.
Hey Brian, I was wondering if as a kid you were into magic and scamming like you are today. What was the little Brushwood like? I can just imagine you small and still spiky hair and such.
Well, I'm sorry to report that little Brian Brushwood did not have spiky hair, but he did have a passing interest in magic, one that I promptly gave up when I discovered girls. I think that's sort of how it usually works with magic. Now, I did get into magic again right before I left for college. A friend of mine showed me a card trick, and he made the mistake of refusing to show me how it worked. It made me so mad that out of spite, I decided I was going to become a better magician than he was. That's what started me on this whole mad descent into magic, and that trick was actually the key card. So when I say the key card's a good trick, I mean, I mean it. It's the one that got me all the way into magic. If you have a question you'd like to post, you can actually make it in video format and post it at the boards at revision3.com/scamschool, or feel free to write me directly at brian@revision3.com. Now next week we got a very special episode. We're going to select one lucky viewer to come and clean my house. And until then, I think there's a pint somewhere that's got my name on it. Where is that pint? Welcome to the show. That's not the intro. All right, ready? Part of pulling off a great con means manufacturing the moment in the mark's mind. That's too many M's. Manufacturing the moment in the mark's mind that's bad writing is what that is. That's my fault. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and tonight's gag was a great one because I don't know. What did I say the first time that was so... I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and part of pulling off a great con is making a moment in the mind of the mark. I can't, there's too many M's, it's just MMM. Now remember, the key to making the now remember, the key to pulling off the penny prediction, there it is, it's the P's again. It's not those M's, it's the P's. All right. Catch me in your hometown. Now you can get live updates about Scam School meetups, follow my tour schedule, and join live online practice sessions by following me, Brian Brushwood, on Twitter. Head over to twitter.com/schwood and click on the follow button. That's SHWOOD. Can't wait to hear from you guys.